Let the bass kick.
Down to the funky beat.
To desolder the speakers from the top screen, the first thing you need to do is add some solder to the new screen. Now I use a little bit of flux, it makes it a little bit easier, but you don't need it. And just get a little bit of solder. Add to the new screen. Now to desolder the speakers, it's quite simple. And then just solder them back where they came from. And then it's easy if you turn it around. Then that's it for the soldering. So now we have our new screen with our speakers soldered on. So to replace everything else, just put it back where it came from. First part to do is to roll up the screen. This can be tricky. And put it through there, but only put it through halfway. Leave a little bit of it sticking out so it's still rolled up. Makes the next part easier. Then you get the microphone and you slide that through. And it's important where you put the wire, because if the wire is not in the right place, it will not close properly. So you put the wire behind here and you wedge the wire in the back there. Just wedge it in there so it stays there. Next, you get the antenna. And you put the antenna through as well. And this black wire sits behind, wedged in there, and if you can see, it sits wedged in there. And then after that's in place, you can push the ribbon cable all the way through. And put the speaker back in its place. Then you need to run the speaker wires through there. And the speaker goes with the black part down into there, and then these wires get wedged in there. Now to make things a little bit easier, get a little bit of electrical tape and just tape it in its place, and then also to keep the wires where they're supposed to stay, just put a little bit of tape over the wire and another little bit of tape over the wire just to keep it steady. And the next speaker goes here. Again, the wires get wedged in between there. It's important to put the wires where they go because you can't close it properly if the wires get in the way. The next part is get the top, put it on, and remember it won't sit flush. There'll be a gap in the top there, and then once it's in, you slide it all together, and now the gap's all gone and it's all back in one piece. The next part is just screw it back in. So now we take a silver screw from this pile over here. You should have had 7 of them, and then just screw it in there. Screw that one in there. Screw that there. Screw that in there. Now you don't have to replace the pads now, but you can replace them now if you want to. You can do it at the end. Okay, and then you have to get the silver sleeve on. Don't forget to put the silver sleeve back, because it's very annoying when you get to the end and realise it's missing. So you have to roll the ribbon cable up again into a roll, and the ribbon cable, slide that back on. And it sits in. Okay, now the axis slots into there. It can only slot in one way, so just have a look at the pattern and make sure it matches the pattern on the end of there. So that just slides in. Okay, so the next step is to put the top screen wires through the bottom screen part. So you have to get the wires, thread them through the top part, and then you have to get this ribbon cable threaded through the gap in the top screen. So you just slide it through. Like that. And then the hinge goes in there. So the next step is to attach this hinge to this part here. So this part, it slots on to here, and then that part, you use the two long screws over here. So two long screws, like Phillips heads, you go in there. And there. Now the top open part should close nicely. Okay, now if you want to replace the buttons, the buttons line up, you've got patterns on them. The buttons have patterns on them, and the patterns line up with the patterns in the holes, so you can't get them in the wrong spot. Goes on top of that. No, sorry, that one. They look slightly different. That one goes there. That one goes there. And these two little black buttons go in there. And this goes on top of there.
Let the bass kick.
Down to the funky beat.